Welcome everyone. Today we're looking at the solar system project. It's kind of a large project. Fortunately, you don't have to go out and hunt for the information because all of it's here, right here in the assignment. You can take a look right here. Lots of different files to choose from. These are all text files. They're not HTML pages, but it has all the text that you're going to need for creating a solar system website. And so what I want to show you is a couple things. The two hardest things in this project are to get it to work where you click on a planet and it takes you to that planet's web page. Now, that's kind of hard to set up, and we have to use a specialized piece of software to do that. And then also, I guess the other hard thing is there's a list at the bottom of the home page that's kind of hard to set up. So I was going to kind of walk through that as well. So the first thing you really need to do is just download each one of these text files and some of these pictures as well. I would start with, I guess, the solar system page, and that's this is the text for it. So I would download that. Sometimes when you click there, it doesn't download anything. We'll see if it does. It's just a text file. You can see it's just a bunch of text about the solar system, but we want to get that formatted looking really nice. So we'll download that. Let's see a download option though. We want to open it. Let's see, download. It is not there. Okay, so we'll minimize that. We can download it here, I guess. Press the little down arrow and downloads it. You see it gets put over here. So before you get started, you want to create a folder for your website. So let's do that first. I'm just going to go out in File Explorer and go to my documents. Let me get it over here on the screen. I have two screens going, so. Okay, so here's my other screen there. So we got to documents, and we're going to make just resort this by name. And I've been putting my projects for this year in here. I think. No, not really. Yeah, I'm going to make, I guess I'll put it in this one. We have one there already, but I'm just going to start a new one. So I'm going to create a new project. You can just click up. If you want a new folder, you can just click right here. This could be a different version of Windows, but that's what I have to do. I'm just going to call it Solar System. And inside that Solar System one, got resorted right before I clicked on it. Solar System, there it is. I want to put in an images folder. So I right click and then I click on folder. So we're going to say just images. Now remember, that's kind of what we're trying to do on all our websites. It's always have an images folder. We're going to put all the images for the website in the folder. And then the text file we just downloaded is here in downloads. We're going to copy that. So I'm just copying it and putting it into our solar system folder. Where'd it go? Go back, I guess. So we'll plop it right here. And so what we want to do first is convert this into an HTML page. Now, I can open it with Notepad++. Let's see if that's, here it is. I just always say no to those update things. We can't update them anyway. Here's 4 paragraphs. They're all in one line, each paragraph. So that's kind of long. So a lot of text here. This text was just copied out of Wikipedia, and I wouldn't recommend doing that for presentations and things. That Wikipedia is not a certified source for information. It's crowdsourced, so sometimes questionable the information you get off of Wikipedia. But since we're not too concerned about the content, we're more concerned about the layout. We're going to just use what we can find on Wikipedia. How do you change this from a text file to an HTML file? We can just do save as. See right there, save as. And then we're going to change the type to hypertext markup language file right there. And I'll save that there. probably good to take the space out of the name. Sometimes browsers struggle with spaces in names, so usually on file names I take them out just to be super cautious. You see, once we do that, the text gets a little bit bolder, and we can start putting tags in here. So here's all our information we want to put on the web page, but there's things you have to do with every web page, and that's the HTML skeleton. So let's start with that first. We start with HTML, and then we end with HTML. So that's the closing HTML tag with the slash. And then inside the HTML tag, there's a head tag. And then you close off the head tag. I usually put in the closing tag when I put in the opening tag. And then actually, come to think of it, we're going to do this a little bit differently, actually. So I'm going to whack all this, and I'll show you what I mean. We're going to use a new tool. Instead of using Notepad++, we're going to use a different tool. It's installed on your machine, and it's called Dreamweaver. If you can find it, there it is. But it's under the Adobe. It's one of the Adobe products. Adobe Dreamweaver right there. We got an older version of it, but it should work. So we're going to open up Dreamweaver. Now, what Dreamweaver is a tool for creating websites. You can see I was using it for one of my websites. What was this for? This is for me and Sharon when we play songs together. So here we are playing songs together. It's our website. But we want to start a new project. So I'm going to say close all here. And we're going to create a new site, basically. It's here. We'll try this button. I haven't tried this one before. What are we trying to create? Well, we're actually trying to create a new site. How do we go about doing that? Let's go to Site Templates. Here's the main templates and different templates. I used to do it from up here, so let me see what it does. If we go to Site and we say New Site, I think that's what we want. What's the site name? We'll call it Solar System. And System, I think it uses that for our site. And then where do we want to put it? You look out here, and again, we want our site. I think we already created the folder, but it's we said projects, I think. Projects 2024. There it is. And I'm going to Solar System, this one. Say select folder. And then you just say save, and it creates, if you look over here, it attaches that Solar System folder we made and puts it here in the site window. You're really not creating anything. You're just pointing Dreamweaver to the folder where you're going to be building your website. Here's our HTML page. We can open that up. You can see it's not much of an HTML page because there's no HTML in it. If we create a new page, though, if I say File, New, and we say, well, what are we making? A new HTML page. Look what happens if you let Dreamweaver create the new document rather than us doing it ourselves like we did there. Just say create. And notice, you should be able to notice a couple things. Well, first of all, we got to get the view right. The view we want is split view, and we want code and design. That's the view we want. So choose that one. And what you'll notice is that what Dreamweaver does is it puts all the HTML skeleton stuff in there for you, so you don't have to do that. It actually adds some other things too that you see in a lot of web pages, like this doc type. Here is the charset metadata. Here's the title. We haven't typed it in yet. So we don't have to create this from scratch like I was starting to do over in Notepad++. So now we can take our text from, I guess, here, right? Here's our paragraphs and all our text. Well, we can just copy this then into the body of the website. So I'm just going to copy all this, a whole bunch of stuff, copy, and I'm going to put it into our, but not that solar system. We want to put it in this new file. Where'd the new file go? There. We haven't saved it yet. So we're going to put that, all that information here inside the body tag. I'll back it up so it's not indented, and then boom. All that data is now entered inside the body tag. If you click up here, it'll show you what it looks like. And of course, what it looks like is a big mess because we haven't put any paragraphs in or anything like that. So, but what's nice about this is as you're creating your web page, you can actually see what it looks like while you're creating it. As you make changes down here and you click up there, it will show you the updated web page, right? So we're going to save this now, and it's going to ask us, well, how do you want to save it? What do you want to call it? And since we already have a solar system one, I'm just going to choose that one, and I'm going to just write over the top of that one because now we want to use this one instead. This will be our home page. Hey, it says you're using a file that you're saving over a file that already exists. You sure you want to do this? And I say, yeah, I just want to do that. So I just overwrote that one there. Now it has the HTML stuff plus all this other stuff. Okay, quick edit. Some hints that are coming up. Okay, so first thing first, I suppose we need a title for this page, so we might just call it Solar System. Remember, this is really just what's on the tab in the tab browser, so I usually keep it pretty short, just enough so that the user can figure out, hey, that's the Solar System one. So I'm going to say Solar, not Solar System, just because I want to keep it short. This first thing we might want to do in the body is we want to put the paragraphs in it, so at least we can see where the paragraphs are. So here's the paragraph tag, and you can see there's some wrapping going on here in Dreamweaver that you wouldn't normally see in Notepad++. So we're going to put a closing tag right there at the end of the paragraph, right? And we'll format that later. Remember that the browser doesn't care about empty lines. Notice that when we put in that opening paragraph, it already put in the closing paragraph, and we don't need that. We need that at the end of the paragraph. So Dreamweaver actually, just like I was saying, puts the closing tag in there for you so you don't forget it. But what I do is I just copy it like that, Control X. Didn't seem to do it. Usually Control X will cut it out, but it's not doing that here. I wonder why. Okay, so I'm going to cut it from here. Oh, it's just disabled. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay, so I'm going to just delete it. Maybe I can delete it. Yeah, I can delete it. I'll just have to do it manually. So here, closing paragraph. And then here's the next paragraph. So we put an opening paragraph tag. Again, we want to put the end tag at the end of the paragraph. It's trying to be helpful, but it's not very helpful right there. Okay, so now we have our paragraphs in there. If we click up here now, we don't even have to save it. You can see, hopefully, that the paragraphs are at least separated. I don't see that, though. Let's see if we did it right. We say opening paragraph, no closing paragraph here, so let's try that. Interesting. It's complaining. So there's the first one, there's open, close. Second, open, close, right? Here's the third paragraph, open, close. Fourth paragraph, no open. So add that. Okay, that's good. Sees the closing paragraph, so see if that looks any better. It really doesn't, right? Not sure why this is not working. We're in design view. Maybe if we went to live view. Yeah, there's live view. Now we can see the paragraphs. Now, when we copied this out of Wikipedia, you'll notice that there's all these little, these are footer references, and we don't have any of those footers on our website. So we have to go through all of this text and get rid of these because they don't really add information that you might need. It's a bad idea to edit here. It's not really letting me. So you're going to have to do it here. See that? And we'll just get rid of all those brackets. If you want to do it quick and easy, you can do Control F and look for the opening bracket so that you can go from bracket to bracket, and we'll use the arrows to take you to the next one. Here's the, sees this one, we want to get rid of that, we want to get rid of that one. And it highlights them for you so you can find them a little bit easier. I'm just going through and getting rid of all these footnote annotations. All right, slowly but surely I'll let you do that. This is pretty tedious. So, but yeah, just go through and get rid of all those little bracket things. Is that all of them, I wonder? I don't see any more of them. So, certainly down here, there's a few like this one here. There's one. So get rid of that, and these aren't references, I think. And I guess they are. So we're completing that. Like this. Might as well complete the job. There's not that many left. Okay, so now we have our paragraphs, but again, the page is pretty ugly because there's no title, there's no background color, there's no pictures, a lot of stuff missing. But at least it's a little bit more understandable. Now, if you want to run this in a browser, you can go to, I remember how to do this, window, no. It's been a while since I've used this. I think it's right here. You click right here, it says preview. I would save it just to be careful and then click preview, and it lists you out the browsers that are available on this machine. We'll take a look at I don't know, Microsoft Edge and see what that looks like. So it opens up Microsoft Edge and refresh it. It doesn't look very good, right? Maybe because it hasn't been saved. Let's try it again. We're going to save it this time. I guess it has been saved. So you would expect that when you open up Microsoft Edge, it would show you the paragraphs, but no, it looks unedited. See there? So I'm not quite sure why it's getting the older version of the web page, even though we've updated it. I've gone to the file menu and said save. Save all, maybe? Am I doing anything wrong? I don't think so. Everything looks fine to me. What's nice about Dreamweaver 2 is it does tell you when things are wrong. You don't have to take it to a validator or try to find it yourself. It'll tell you exactly what's wrong. There we go. Strange. I'm not sure why it didn't work the first time. But anyway, we can see our paragraphs, but it really needs a title and some other stuff. So we're gonna do that. I'm just gonna leave that open. Start at the top then. What do we want to say? Well, we want to say our solar system or something cheesy like that. So this is an H1, and we'll say our solar system. If you're not from this solar system, you can put your own solar system. Say you're an alien in disguise or something. You don't have to do our solar system if you're from somewhere else. But yeah, if this is your solar system, you can just say our solar system. You click up here and it doesn't show it. Are we in live view, code view, design view? Still not showing it. What did I not do? I opened it and I closed it. It's inside the body. I figured we could see it. Sometimes this rendering thing doesn't quite work out. It's a little bit laggy. I'm saving all of these. Oh, there it is finally. So yeah, I'm not sure why it's bugging out today. But anyway, there's our title. And now we have at least a title on it or a heading on it so we can see what's going on there. Now, one of the things you need to make this website really work is, well, we'll get to that in a second. Let's just do this last part. So I'm going to make it so that we can see this a little bit better. So we have our paragraphs in place. But now it's got this big long list, and the list doesn't have anything that says what this list is about. But it's basically giving you general information about our solar system. How old is it? How many stars are in it? Or how many planets are in it? That kind of stuff. So we're going to say we're going to put a heading 2 here, maybe heading 2, and we'll say like solar system system facts or something like that. Click up here. Still can't see it. Can we save it though? Maybe we can see it. If I say save all, do we see it? Yes. Solar system facts. Now it might be nice too here to put in some horizontal rules underneath our headings. That's always nice, just to separate information. So just an HR tag. Remember that's a void element, so it doesn't have a closing tag. Same thing here right after our heading 2. Might be nice to put in an HR tag, just so it draws a line across the page. If I save it, I guess, and then look at it, you see there's a nice line. And another line there. Looks good. Okay. Notice how all this information that really should be in a list is all smushed together here at the bottom. It's a mess. And so it looks nice in the text file, but remember that the HTML collapses spaces and carriage returns. So what we need here is does the order matter? Not really. So what we need is, well, yeah, we're going to misuse a list. There's a list, a kind of list that we haven't learned about yet. It's called a definition list. And anytime you have an item and then some information about that item, you should probably use a definition list. It makes it work a little bit better rather than a list where you have to put in a colon or something to say, hey, the age of the solar system is 4.5 billion years old. It's been around for a while. It'd be nice to say age and then indent it a little bit. You're going to say how old is it. So the way we do that is we create a definition list. So it's like a UL or an OL. UL is unordered list. OL is ordered list. This is a different kind of list, a definition list. Okay. Here's the closing tag. So I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to put it at the bottom here. Okay. So we, just like with the other ones, we just need one opening and closing tag for the outside of the list. So we have a definition list. Now definition lists are a little bit strange is that there's 2 parts to every entry. The first part is the definition term. So you use the DT tag for that. And you want to wrap that around, instead of here, you want to put that after age. Okay. So you have the definition term, and then I think the next tag is called the definition. Seems a little bit redundant. I'm not sure what it stands for, but it's for the actual definition. Like if you're doing a word list for class, you have a term and then a definition. That's what this list is usually used for. We're kind of misusing it a little bit for this, and you might indent maybe so we know it's part of the definition list there. And then same thing with location. We put in the DT tag, and again, oh, how to get up there? We want to get this. That's really weird. My keyboard is not behaving. Okay, so we want to put this like location. Where's our location? We say definition term. That's what we're trying to find. Delete that. And then put it at the end here. There's the term, end of the term. And then here's the name. Here's kind of like our address. And if you notice here, like if you're given directions to an alien who wants to come visit Earth, this is what you would say. It's a local interstellar cloud, local bubble, Orion Cygnus arm, Milky Way. Okay, so there's our like detail address. Here's a little bit bigger, and then here's the arm, one of the arms of the spiral galaxy, and then which galaxy, Milky Way. You can put all of that into the same definition, right? Because it's just a list of, it's like city and state, but we're doing it for galaxies, I guess. So that's our galaxy address, and then put a closing DD tag there. Cool. So what does that look like when we save it? I'm going to save it. Save all, I guess. Take a look at it. And you'll see that you have the term and then the definition of the term just a little bit later. And then here's the location. And then you can see where we are located inside of our galaxy. Okay. So let me just tell you which ones are the, here's the term, and there's the definition, but you have to put the tags right. The near stars, there's actually 2 stars they list. There's Proxima Centauri and Alpha Centauri. I would assume, yeah, Proxima Centauri is the closest star to our star, and then Alpha Centauri is not too much further away. If you're going at the speed of light, it'd take you 4.22 years to get there, but we can't do that. Not quite yet. Nearest known planetary system is in Proxima Centauri. So there's a planet going around that star. So planetary systems, it's a semi-major axis of the outer known planet Neptune. So yeah, I think this is part of this term. So I think I'm gonna back that up here. I think that's how you want to say it. Semi-major axis of the outer planet. Yeah, so I think that's your term, and then that would be your definition, I guess. Distance to the Kuiper Cliff, we say 50 astronomical units. What's an astronomical unit? That's the distance between the Earth and the Sun. Stars, we have 1 star. Okay, so 1 star. Known planets, we have 8 planets. Pluto got demoted, so it's not a planet anymore. It's a dwarf planet, I guess, which makes sense. It's kind of weird. But there's our full-fledged planets. There's our dwarf planets. There's probably several hundred. So here's our, maybe you would put this information into one kind of paragraphic type thing. So there's Ceres, there's Pluto, there's Haumea, which is a Hawaiian term, Makemake, and Eris. Why do they use these? Well, there's an observatory in Hawaii, where maybe that's where they discovered them, so these Hawaiian names are. These are Hawaiian gods, I think. Known natural satellites, we have 472. And then this looks like more information about that, so I put that on the definition line. Known minor planets, look at that number, yikes. That's a lot of little minor planets. Comets, so far about 3,000 or something. That's a lot too. Identified rounded satellites, we have 19. Okay, so all you need to do now is to add the DT and DD tags to these things, and then they'll look nice. Because right now, if I save it, and then go take a look at it, it's still a big mess, right? Because I haven't put the tags in for the rest of the definition list. So, but that's how I would organize it, something like that. And then we have at least a start for this web page. Other things you need to do on this web page is change the background, the background image, but we have to download it from our website. So let's do that. Here's our background. Where is it? Background. And we have this really cool Hubble background. There it is. So click on that little arrow and we'll download that. There it is, right? So we go to our folder there. I'm going to grab it. I'm just going to copy it, and I'm going to put it in our solar system thing. I guess here. It's an image, so I'm going to put it in the images folder, and I'll paste it in there. So I'm pasting it. That's cool. And now we can use it. Hubble dot, well, it's a JPEG. Let's see if we can make that work. All right, let's see if I can remember this part. We want to put an image, a background image, in our web page. Well, where do we specify that? Well, I think we would do that using a style statement, from what I understand. Okay, so let's put that in our head tag. We're going to put a style statement after the title. We're going to say style, It puts the closing style tag in it, and we want it there. That's fine. And then what we can say is for the body tag. So we just type in body. This is in CSS now. We're changed language here. And we want to say a background. So it gives you a list of all these different background things. We want to say background image. Okay. Well, we want to say, I guess we want to say, the path to our background image. So we would say, I think you need to put this in quotes, and you would say Hubble .jpg. I think it was a JPEG file. And then I'm going to actually indent that and put the curly braces so that they line up vertically. So we know that this background image should be there. It should be referenced in the images folder. So let's do that first. Images /Hubble.jpg. I think it should be able to find it there. Let's see if it does. Didn't really change it there. Maybe if we save it, save. Save. Sure. Click up here. No change to the background image. Let's take a look at it out in our Microsoft Edge, and notice that we're not seeing the background image. So I'm forgetting some of the syntax. I think, what's the problem? That's odd. That's the one we had. That's the text file. Let me use this one. We have two solar system files. I'm going to close. Is this the one we're working on? Here. There's the one we're working on. Okay. So this background image didn't seem to work, but notice too that that style statement I put in just disappeared. Maybe I put it in the wrong one. Look at this one. It's not in there. That's our text file. So I'm going to close that. Here's another one. I'm not sure which one that is. If we look over here, we see there's one here. Look on this one. So yeah, we're editing the wrong one. Where is this one is the question. If I say file save as, we'll see that we're in our documents folder, projects 24. So that's the correct location. What about this other one though? See this one here? Where is that located? If I say save as, it says it's in the same place. Just want to make sure we're in OneDrive. Make this a little bit wider. Yeah, this PC documents. Yeah. Looks OneDrive-y. So I'm going to close this one. Let's take a look at this one. Where's our text? Yeah, it's completely messed up. Live. Where's our source code though? Right? Sorry, our source code's disappeared. Alright, so I'm going to close this one and see if I can open the one we were last working on. Here it is, solar system. And do we have our... We want to do a split view. There we go. Okay, so I guess we have to put in the style statement again. So we say style. Closing style, and again, we're saying a body. I think we want to say background image, colon. I think what we have to say here is URL, and then in parentheses, you go to your images folder, and you choose our Hubble JPEG. Ah, there it is. Look at that. Semicolon. Okay. So notice that it's got this nice background image, but notice all of our text is missing. It's not really missing. It's still there, right? You just can't see it because the background turned black, and the text is black, so you can't really see the text in the background together. So the way to fix that is to make the background or the text color to be white. So we would say the foreground color, which is just color, colon, and then we can just say white. Okay. Oh, look at that. Now we can see our text, which is nice. All right, so it's now it's starting to look like a website. I'm going to save this and take a look at it over here. It looks like this right now. So it's starting to look like a solar system website. We got stars, we have galaxies, stuff like that. There's a new telescope out there, James Webb telescope. It gets much better pictures than the Hubble, but for its time, the Hubble had, looking at that's just looking at a small part of space. That's how many galaxies you see from that. Those aren't stars. Those are entire galaxies, billions of stars in each one. Yikes. Okay, so it's starting to look like a web page. We need to put a picture of all our planets on here, though, to make this work right. So how do you do that? Well, if you remember from our last one, a recipe assignment, we want our images to kind of float to the right. So I'm going to do the same thing here. So here, before we even put the image in, we're going to put in the CSS for that. So say we're saying image, and then we're going to say float right, just like we did in the last project. So all our images are going to float to the right, but we need to get that image from our solar system project. We want the image of the entire solar system. That's this. No, where's the picture? Venus, solar system, planets, transparent, all the planets. So choose that one and get that downloaded. And then we're going to move that again. I'm going to copy it here and move it to our documents, 2024 projects 2024. Here's our solar system images, and I'm going to put it in there with the Hubble picture. This one's transparent, so the background will show through. Let's see what that looks like when we put it on the page. Here, and remember, for floating things, we want to make sure that we put the image in first before the paragraphs, because remember, the paragraphs have to flow around the picture. So we say image, image, SRC for source. It's not SCR. SRC equals, and then you put images. It tries to help you there, / and then we want to do planets transparent, so you can choose that from the list. So you don't have to type it. And remember, the image tag is a void element. Notice as soon as we do that, the planets come into view. And now it starts to look like a space one. I like this one especially. If we save this, we go to File, Save. Let's say Save Now, Save As now. Just regular save here. Yeah, it's saved already. And then take a look at it in the browser. We see we now have our picture there. As the browser window grows and shrinks, you'll note that the text gets skinnier on the left side. So if we do that, the text flows. If you don't leave any space, then it goes underneath the picture. Here's underneath the picture. You can see as we pull it back and forth, the text is flowing around the picture. But it looks like these planets are actually in space. So this is a really cool website because it's got that kind of 3D effect so far. It looks pretty good. Now, the solar system thing on the top probably needs to be centered. How do you do that? Well, remember, we can say for our H1 tags, we can use CSS for that. For all our H1 tags, we want the text alignment. So you say text align. You want to set that equal. Didn't quite do it. Text align. Yeah, there it is. Text align. We want to say center. Okay. Now our solar system's in the middle. As soon as we type that in and understands it, it does that for us, so we can see that in real time. That looks nice. All right. What else are we doing here? Yeah, so we'll take a pause here. I'm going to make another video about how to create your detail page, and then also how do you link it from here to your detail page. So I'm going to stop here.